We are riding in between these boulders that came down a long time ago. Yeah, so we were received here by friendly Marlene. She gave us the permit to go to the Stadsaal caves. 60 rand per person, so that is what will get you in. I think it will be good for Emil to get a bit of a good glimpse on some of the rock structures that we get here in the Matjiesrivier Nature Reserve, which is of course part of the Cederberg. From the office here, I think it's about between 4 and 5 kilometers to just get to the Stadsaal caves. Let's go. At the office here, there's also display boards on some of the animals and insects and so on that you get here. Very interesting. And then you have some of the ruins of this Matjiesrivier farm. This one looks particularly old. Okay, all good, and I think we are crossing the Matjiesrivier right here with the view on a beautiful white thatch roof building. Okay, so this is the gate to get to the Stadsaal caves. Hey, hoe gaan dit? Goed, ek het die permit hierso. So ek dink ons sal kan in. Dankie, lekker dag. Yeah, so we were received by friendly Gaynor here. So we are in at the Stadsaal caves. And as you ride in, you can immediately see the rock formations. Yeah. So there's two main things to see at this entrance, and it is the Sun rock art and also then the Stadsaal caves itself. So I'm going to first make my way to the Sun rock art. Let's just have a bit of a look there. No, but this is quintessential Cederberg, where you can let your mind go wild because you can imagine seeing anything in these rocks. But first, before I can start imagining things, let me first get through the sand. Okay, so far so good. But yeah, so the rocks and the shapes, it's just a joy to see. So let's first make a turn here at the rock art. first time on Vander's View that I'm actually getting into the Stadsaal cave. You might recall in one of my earlier Cederberg series videos, I got to the gate and I didn't have cash and I couldn't enter, but today I'm getting the chance with Emil to just explore this a bit. So the first place we stopped is the Sun Rock Art, so let's go and have a look. Yeah, so just park the bikes here right next to this huge rock overhang here, and you can even see the rock art from the road here, but let's just have a bit of a walk up to see. Yeah, so we imagine that some of this might be thousands of years old, because they've estimated that you get rock art from sun that is between 300 and 6,000 years old. And to me it's always amazing how well preserved it remains in mostly the red color that it is being painted. But yeah, you already get some interesting rock formations here already. Let's just go up. Oh yeah. These are elephant paintings. Just look at it. Clearly visible there. Hey Emil, yeah. It may be thousands of years old, eh? Yeah. Sure. And then one has beautiful views back over this valley, right up there to the Stadsaal caves itself. So the Stadsaal caves are right there at the top of the hill over there. Sure, no, this is beautiful. Stunning, eh? Yes, klomp mannetjies ook al by. Ja. Ja. It's quite a rough little footpath. Now it is off to the Stadsaal caves. I hope there's not too much of this really sandy stuff. There must have been a fire on this side of the road. You can see there's almost no vegetation. It's quite a contrast, yeah. Yeah, so we now made it to the Stadsaal caves. Now this is quite a big complex of rock formations, little caverns, and of course the big Stadsaal cave hall itself. Here you can literally spend a few hours, I think, to crawl through all these spaces, but we don't have that much time, and I think we will just be looking at some of the main features. But yeah, come along, let's have a look. Let's start here, right where we where we park the bikes. I think there's a little cavern. You just want to see what it looks like. You can take this walk. You see, it's all kinds of interesting nooks and crannies, all eroded away over time by wind. So there's these sandstone structures, and then anywhere you look in the distance, you will just see more and more. Yeah, but the main Stadsaal cave is the one that goes up this little footpath. Check out, daar's 'n hele gat daardeur. And the further you walk, the more elaborate it seems to become. There's a little house, a little playhouse. Huh? How nice is that? Yeah, so this is now leading us to the main Stadsaal hall or chamber here in front. Almost like pillars that's been built to keep all of this upright. How nice is this? Yeah. You can think for children how fascinating it is to crawl around here. Yeah, so there are some of the inscriptions on the wall. So yeah, it was used by Nationalist Party politicians to meet here. I find it quite strange. They want to meet in a place like this. But let's have a bit of a closer look. Apparently D.F. Malan, one of the previous prime ministers of South Africa, was also here. And indeed, his name is here. There you can clearly see D.F. Malan. But there's lots of Nieuwoudts and Louis. A lot. It also continues down this side. So some of these inscriptions must be very old. There's one from, looks like 1911, 1920. Oh. Ultimately, it is the shapes and the formations of these rocks that is what fascinates one when you make a visit to the Stadsaal caves. Of course, Stadsaal is the Afrikaans word for city hall. So this chamber, I think, probably resembles then a bit of a city hall. But there's one more place that I think will be interesting to go, and that is the photo shoot area. Let myself and Emil get our photo shoot shot to at least prove that we've been to the Stadsaal caves. And then you smile for the world, eh? Lower down, lower down. Great. Stadsaal Cave, highly recommend it. If you find yourself in this part of the Cederberg, you can certainly make a stop. There will be many hours of fascination to just explore, especially for kids. I can remember still when Ruben and Mia were still very small, that they loved it to walk around, to crawl into all kinds of small spaces. So none of these caves are actually deep underground or going far into the sides of the rocks or so that it becomes dark. But yeah, I can only describe this as a majestic place. Baie dankie. Dankie, lekker dag hoor. Yeah, so the roads are getting busier here in the Cederberg. It is now a Friday late afternoon, so the Cederberg is of course a popular place for people to break away from Cape Town and so on for a weekend, so it becomes a bit more busy. Now there must have been some significant fires here, because the side of the road, the fires are, or the black shrubs, quite evident. Oh, but I think it also burned on the other side of the road. I'm just showing Emil all these rocks that have rolled down over the, well, thousands of years. And I just told him there's even some that that have rolled almost into the road. And yeah, it always fascinates me to think that it breaks down and then it rolls down over the ages. For example, look where this one ended up. Long before there was a road, of course. Yeah, but the valley is beautiful. I mean, it's burnt here, but the green shrubs coming through, but down there in the valley it is perfectly green, and the sun is just highlighting it now, this late in the day. It's now 25 to 5 in the afternoon. So we are busy finding our way to the Uitkyk Pass, and it's the road that goes through that little neck over there. We will approach the Algeria Valley by crossing over the Uitkyk Pass. Yeah, that is a particularly big one that I'm just showing him, because I told him beforehand we're going to see these massive boulders. You can see how they've rolled down, even with the sounds. No, the fire has played havoc here. This should be all new vegetation then that's coming through after the fire. I don't know exactly when this fire happened, but it really scorched the earth here. We are riding in between these boulders that came down a long time ago. Yeah, we are approaching the Uitkyk Pass, the summit now. We are very close. How special is this? Yeah, this gateway to the next valley. It's simply stunningly beautiful. So we've climbed a bit now, but the descent is significantly further down. Yeah, so I just made a stop to explain a bit to Emil where we are now. But yeah, this is spectacular to descend now down the Algeria Valley. And you can also see the road twisting up there. That's of course Nieuwoud's Pass. That is where we will soon be going up as well. And this road has been tarred because it's been flooded so many times that I think the decision was simply made, let's tar this road to make it continuously accessible. But I think the Algeria Valley and the mountains of this part of the Cederberg is probably some of the most beautiful. Yeah. So this is called the Uitkyk Pass, and you will recall earlier we rode Cederberg Pass, which was also called Uitkyk Pass. So these are the two passes that were really confusing people. So Cederberg is not called Uitkyk Pass anymore. That is the one that goes down into the Bido Valley. And this one is Uitkyk Pass, but this one also is sometimes referred to as the Cederberg Pass. So I think it just means we are now in the heart of the Cederberg. But I think the most commonly used name for this pass is the Uitkyk pass. And here it makes a huge U-turn or a hairpin bend. Now this road has been fixed up beautifully. I can still remember periods where it's been eroded away by flooding quite significantly, where you actually had to take a lot of caution to just drive down. So this is looking very, very good. Okay, so let me just take the lead a bit, because we'll just make a quick stop in Algeria, because there we should have a cell phone signal so that we can just check some messages, because I just need to check how we should get in at Pendoornkraal Farm, where we will be staying over tonight. Yes, we're now approaching Algeria campsite. The telltale signs are those huge trees there. So I think Algeria campsite is probably one of the most beautiful campsites in all of South Africa. Of course, now it's been, the fire has been burning through here. But unfortunately, Algeria suffered immense damage from winter flooding in 23 and in 2024 that needed significant fixing up. And I think Algeria campsite might still be closed. Yeah, there you can see the campsite down below, but there's no camping happening, even though it's a weekend. It is such a shame, because this is such a wonderful, wonderful campsite with glorious walks on hikes up the mountain. Yeah, I'm not sure when they will be opening. Can maybe check here at the shop, because it's got the most wonderful swimming pool also here in the river. Yeah, I don't know if the shop is still open, but I think we've got cell phone signal now, so we can make or check on our messages. Okay, this was now quite a nice stop here at Algeria and the little shop here. But we stopped mainly because we know there is a good cell phone signal, because the place where we're going to stay, I'm not sure if there's going to be a good signal. But yeah, it's now quite a short ride. It's only 11 kilometers to get to the turnoff. So we are going to Pendoornkraal Farm. Now, Pendoornkraal is a place where Annelie and myself have stayed more than once before, and we also made a video on Back Road Chronicles, our other channel, the channel that I do with Annelie, where we stayed in Sunka's cabin. Now, that is a wonderful place to stay on the Pendoornkraal Farm, and it's just on the other side of the mountain here. But there's also a wonderful owner of Pendoornkraal. The name is Mia Hunter, and when I planned this trip, I asked Mia whether she's got a place for myself and Emil to sleep for the night. And in fact she did not have space, and she didn't have a place. And then she said, no, but we are welcome to come, and she will let us stay in her private flatlet that she's got at her farm. Now, I appreciate that a lot. So Mia, if you are watching this video, thank you very, very much for making the accommodation for us. It's highly appreciated. It's not expected of you to do this, but thank you so much. So we are now heading in the direction of Pendoornkraal, but before we get there, we need to cross the Nieuwoud's Pass. We actually need to go to the other side of this mountain. The Nieuwoud's Pass takes you out of the Algeria Valley. Maybe just Algeria, I just wanted to maybe come back to Algeria. The name of Algeria is probably a bit confusing, because Algeria in Afrikaans is spelled, and yeah, it means the same as Algeria, the country, and So there is a connection to the country of Algeria. The naming of this valley was done by a French nobleman many years ago. When he came here and he looked and he saw these mountains, it very much resembled the Atlas Mountains. Now the Atlas Mountains is a mountain range that runs in North Africa from Morocco through Algeria to Tunisia. And he said, no, these mountains looks very much like the Atlas Mountains. He's going to name this place Algeria or Algeria. And yeah, that is where the name comes from. So I've always wondered, so when I researched for this trip, I stumbled upon this piece of information. I find it quite fascinating. But yeah, Algeria has a special meaning for us. We've been camping there a lot, many times before, and it is so sad that it is closed at the moment. I just spoke to the people there at the shop, and they say no, they are going to open again by the 1st of December this year, 1st of December 2026, so we can look forward to that. It is just making significant plans to handle the flooding of the river that comes through the campsite. So make no mistake, we will go back to Algeria once it is ready again to do so. There's lots of cars now coming from the front. As I said, it's a Friday late afternoon, early evening, and people are coming in. Apart from Algeria, there's many other accommodation options, so it is a very popular place for people to come. So we will probably pass a few more cars in the front. But now the ascent has started here on the Nieuwoud's Pass. Now we already passed through Nieuwoudville much earlier today, so the surname of Nieuwoud is quite a common and prominent Afrikaans surname. The surname Nieuwoud simply means new forest, and this area of the Cederberg, there's also been Nieuwouds that has established themselves since the 1880s. So you also have Jamaica, popular place to stay down there, that also belongs to the Nieuwouds, and this pass then also carries the name of Nieuwoud, and it's simply called the Nieuwoud's Pass, and it takes you out of the Algeria Valley and back to the N7 highway actually. So this is basically one of the main routes in and out of the Cederberg. Yeah, but just look at the valley down below. How beautiful is that? Yeah. Yeah, we have now made it to the summit of Nieuwoud's Pass. That's why we are able to ride into the sun. So now just another 6 kilometers or so to get to Pendoornkraal Farm. Yeah, so I can already see Pendoornkraal Farm is this farm here, but we're just gonna go a bit around the bend still to actually enter it, but brings us now almost to the bottom of Nieuwoud's Pass. So that is the entrance to Sunka's cabin and also Billy's tented camp, where you can stay at the beautiful Pendoornkraal Farm. But Mia Hunter has given us another gate that we need to enter, because we will be staying in a private flatlet, so I will likely not film this. I think out of respect for her privacy, I will not show you necessarily where we will stay tonight. What a friendly reception from Mia Hunter here from Pendoornkraal Farm. I can highly recommend Pendoornkraal. She's got 2 units here. One is Sunka's cabin, which we also featured on Back Road Chronicles channel. I will put the link down below. That is a wonderful self-catering unit to stay, which is a permanent caravan. Then she's also got Billy's tented camp. So yeah, please have a look on Pendoornkraal's website. I will put the link in the video description. But yeah, she received us very friendly here, and we're going to have a wonderful evening here in the Cederberg at Pendoornkraal Farm. And this is also the end of the video for today. Thanks for joining us. Taking the road from Stadsaal Caves via Algeria doing the Uitkyk Pass and also the Nieuwoudts Pass, and then ending up here in Pendoornkraal Farm in the Cederberg. Yeah, what a trip. We really enjoyed it a lot. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And then until tomorrow, when we depart here from Pendoornkraal on another exciting excursion. Keep well and bye-bye.